Good day everyone. So today I'm going to discuss about War and Revolution, World War One and its aftermath. So first is the Futurist Manifesto 1909. So the manifesto's authors are a group of European intellectuals fascinated by the potential of the industrial age and envisioned a future where technology would create a new type of human being completely detached from the past. So, this manifesto celebrated speed, violence, and revolt. So, and also this manifesto glorified war, which tragically claimed the lives of many futurists in World War One. So, the Futurist Manifesto was written initially by Filippo Tommaso Marinetti in 1909. So it is a document that celebrated modern life and technology. So this manifesto called for a break from old traditions and i-embrace ani ang mga new ideas like speed, machinery, and youth. Next is the manifesto's connection to modernity. So, the manifesto's themes resonate with modern society's fascination with speed, technology, and the desire for excitement. So, ang kaning manifesto ha kay connected ni siya sa modernity because it highlighted the excitement and changes brought by industrialization and technology. So, it influenced many areas like art, literature, and architecture by promoting a forward thinking and energetic approach to life. So, next is the international rivalry and the coming of war. So let's start on the naval arms race. So this was an intense competition between Britain and Germany to build powerful navies. So Britain launched the HMS Dreadnought in 1906, revolutionizing naval warfare. So Germany responded by building its own fleet of dreadnoughts, intensifying the arms race. So ang kining naval arms race before World War One was mainly between Tunisia sa Great Britain and Germany. So both countries wanted to have the strongest navy. So this competition nag-start ni siya during the late 1800s ug nahuman ni siya taman sa nagsugod ang war atong 1914. So ang hinungdan ani niya nga nagsugod ning naval arms race was the Germany's ambition nga giled by Admiral Alfred von Tirpitz because he wanted that the Germany has the most powerful navy to challenge Britain's dominance at sea. So ang response sa Britain kay na felt threatened man sila, they started building more advanced ships like the HMS Dreadnought in 1906. So both countries kept building more bigger ships trying to outdo each other. So and ang result kay the race was very expensive and put a lot of pressure on both countries finances. Naglisod gid ang duha ka countries nga kuan i-fund ni siya nga kuan race. So ang impact ani niya sa atong panahon na is that the naval arms race increased tensions and was one of the factors that led to World War One. Next is the alliance systems. So this was the formation of the Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy, and the Triple Entente, France, Russia, and Britain. So the Triple Alliance was a military agreement between Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. Well, they promised to support each other if attacked by other countries, while the Triple Entente was an understanding between France, Russia, and Great Britain. So they agreed to help each other against the Triple Alliance. And kaning nga mga alliance were important because they set the stage for the countries that fought each other in the war. So the Triple Entente became the Allied powers while the Triple Alliance was part of the Central Powers. So next is the economic competition before World War One. So industrial and economic competition, especially between Germany and Britain. Germany's rapid industrial growth threatened Britain's economic dominance. So before World War One, kaning ang mga countries in Europe were competing in several ways. Like first, industrial growth. So countries like Britain, Germany, and France were rapidly expanding their industries. So they wanted to produce more goods and become more richer ang kaning mga nasura. So ang next is colonial expansion. So European powers were racing to control colonies in Africa and Asia. So ang kaning mga colonies nga ilang nasakop kay mao ni sila nag-provide og raw materials and new markets for their goods. And next is the trade rivalries. So nations impose tariffs. So ang kaning tariffs kay taxes on imports para ma-protect ang ilahang kuan kaugalingong industry sulod sa nasod. So this led to trade disputes and competition. So final is military spending. So countries were investing heavily in their militaries to protect their interests and show their power. So ang kining tanan nga economic competitions mo ni siya nag-create og tensions og rivalries aning mga nasura sa Europe nga naka-contribute to the outbreak of World War One. So next is nationalism. So rising nationalist sentiments in various European countries leading to demands for independence and territorial expansion. So next is nationalist movements in the Balkans sought independence from Ottoman and Austro-Hungarian rule. So next is nationalist fervor contributed to the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. So before World War One, nationalism was a strong feeling of pride and loyalty that people had for their own country. So this feeling made people believe that their country was better than others. So ang kining nationalism was one of the main causes gyud sa war. So mao ni ang mga key points about nationalism before World War One. So first was pride and unity. So people felt a strong connection to their country and wanted to show their pride. So this often led to a desire for their country to be powerful and respected. And number two was independence movements. So many groups wanted to form their own nations aning pahunas. Like for example, katong people in the Balkans wanted independence from Austro-Hungarian and Ottoman empires. And so number three, rivalries. So ang mga countries sa una kay competed with each other for power and influence. So this competition created tensions and distrust among nations. And number four was militarism. So nationalism often went hand in hand with militarism. So where countries built up their armies and navies to protect their interests and show their strengths. So mao ni siya tanan ang mga factors nga nag-contribute para sa outbreak atong World War One sa una. So as countries were manggod kaning eager sila to prove their dominance and to protect their own interests. Next is about the Bosnian crisis 1908 to 1909. So, Austria-Hungary's annexation of Bosnia and Herzegovina, angering Serbia and Russia. And the crisis heightened tensions between Austria-Hungary and Serbia. So, ang kaning Bosnian crisis of 1908 to 1909 was a conflict that started when Austria-Hungary took control of Bosnia and Herzegovina. So ang kaning mga reyaha were officially gid ni siya nga part of the Ottoman Empire, but gimanage na ni siya sa Austria-Hungary since 1878. So when Austria-Hungary announced the annexation in October 1908, suko kay ang ubang countries like kining Serbia and Russia. So ang kining Serbia was angry because many Serbs lived in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and they wanted these areas to be part of Serbia. So Russia gisupport niya ang Serbia, pero dili gid ready ang Russia para sa dako gid kay nga war. So they eventually accepted Austria-Hungary's actions. So ang kining crisis mo'y naka-increase gyud og tension sa Europe, og na-damage ang relationship between countries. Mo tong nagresulta sa events nga nagled to World War I. So next is the First Balkan War during 1912 to 1913. So the First Balkan War began on 8 October 1912. So when the League member states attacked the Ottoman Empire, and ended 8 months later with the signing of the Treaty of London on 30th May 1913. So Balkan League consists of Serbia, Montenegro, Greece, and Bulgaria fought against the Ottoman Empire to gain territories. So ang kining First Balkan War daw kay it was a conflict where four countries, Bulgaria, Serbia, Greece, and Montenegro, joined forces to fight against the Ottoman Empire. So ang kining mga country kay nag-form sila o kaning what was called na Balkan League. So ang main goal gid ani nga Balkan League was to take control of territories in Europe that were still under Ottoman Empire. So successful sila and managed to capture most of these areas. So ang kining nga war kay nag-end siya after pila ka months, 8 months for with the signing of the Treaty of London, which divided the conquered lands among the Balkan League members. Next is the Second Balkan War in 1913. So the Second Balkan War was a conflict that broke out when Bulgaria, dissatisfied with its share of the spoils of the First Balkan War, so they attacked its former allies, Serbia and Greece, on 16th of June 1913. So the war ended with the Treaty of Bucharest redrawing the map of the Balkans and leaving lingering animosities. So during the Second Balkan War, ang Bulgaria was so unhappy with the land that it got from the First Balkan War. So motong nagi-attack niya ang former allies niya, which was the Serbia and Greece, on June 16th of 1913. So namalos ang Serbia o Greece. So na-defeat nila ang Bulgaria. Tapos ning join pagyud ang Romania o Ottoman Empire tong panahon na against Bulgaria. So nag-end ra ni nga war with the signing of the Treaty of Bucharest on August 10, 1913. So Bulgaria lost some of its land to Serbia, Greece, and Romania. So next and final slide is the spark. This was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. So the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne was assassinated by a Bosnian Serb nationalist, Gavrilo Princip, in Sarajevo, triggering World War I. So kini si Archduke Franz Ferdinand was na-assassinate siya kay tungod sa political tensions gyud. So he was the heir of the Austro-Hungarian throne, and his visit to Bosnia angered many Serbians. Nangasuko ang mga Serbians sa iyahang visit sa Bosnia. So ang group nga gitawag og Black Hand, which wanted Bosnia to be free from Austro-Hungarian rule, sila ginagplano aning assassination. So si Gavrilo Princip nga usa ka membro ani nga group, he shot and killed Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie on June 28, 1914. So mao ni siya ang event gyud nga nag-lead sa World War I. So mao gini siya ang nag-trigger aning panahona. So that's all. Thank you. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.